Hi everyone, good evening. I'm April Davis with April Davis Creations. And this is Thursday, October 31st. Happy Halloween. And it's my 7 p.m. Central Time to go class, which is on Facebook Live. So thank you for joining me. If you are here, please do say hello. And I'm double checking just to make sure that everything is going as it should be. And it looks like I have gone live. So yay, now we can get started. So tonight I'm going to just very quickly go through some updates because I want to get to the class. I'm utilizing the Caring Leaves stamp set tonight. And I've got 3 great cards I want to share with you. So let me first of all go to my computer screen so I can share with you the specials that are going on right now. Actually, today is the last day for a number of these specials, it being the end of the month. I still can't put my head around the fact that it's already October 31st. That's just crazy. So I've got my husband and pup upstairs serving candy to the trick-or-treaters, and I'm down here with all of you. So the first thing that I wanted to share with you, and I'm going to go ahead and hopefully I can do this. I want to bring myself up to you so you guys can still see me. I just wanted to talk about the starter kit for just a second. It's an incredible special. Today is the last day, but if you've been on the fence about whether or not you're wanting to get this incredible discount, you pay $99 for the kit, you get $155 worth of product of your choice and free shipping, and then you can just be a happy shopper and shop with a discount. So if you want more information about this, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. But again, this special ends tonight. So let's move on to the next thing I want to share with you. And that is today is also the last day for you to be able to get the kits up to 30% off. Our kits are incredible and we have a lot of fun with them. They're all inclusive, so you have everything that you need, but they've been on special all month, and today is the last day to get up to 30% off on our kits. Also, starting in November the 6th, we will have some new online exclusives, and this Marbled Elegant Suite collection is just one of the exclusive suites that are going to be available. And then we also have another Utterly Adorable suite collection, and these are just 2 of the suites that are coming out. There's a number of items coming out on November the 6th in our online exclusives, so you're going to want to be sure to check all of those out. All right, last but not least, I want to chat with you about my to-go class, which is what we're doing tonight. My Facebook Lives on Thursday evenings are to-go classes, and you can get all the information that you need by going out to my website at, let me see if I can pull this up for you, aprildaviscreations.com, and you'll go to classes and clubs, go down to go class, select that, and then it will give you all the information that you need for the to-go class. Basically what happens is I'm going to show you how to create 3 cards, and then if you really like these cards and you'd like to make them and get the kit for free, all you have to do is place an order in my online store by November the 4th, $40 or more before tax and shipping. And then I will get your kits cut so that you can make 2 of each of these cards, and I'll get them in the mail to you on or near November the 5th. So let's talk about what it is that we're doing tonight. So let me do a little switcheroo here real quick and take this down. Let me see if I can put this up. Alrighty, I think we're ready. I'm going to go ahead and take the April Davis Creations down, and let's switch over to my desktop. And the stamp set that we're utilizing is the Caring Leaves stamp set. There's not a lot to this stamp set. It's really fairly simple, and we're going to be utilizing the majority of the stamps tonight. But you can see there's no dies. This isn't a bundle. It's just the stamp set. So let's talk about the cards that you're going to be making. We've got 3 different cards. We've got one with some multicolored leaves on it. We've got another one that's a fun fold. This will be fun, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that. And then I've got another one that's a little bit more dressed up because of the ribbon and everything, but so much fun to make. You know, last night we had storms come through. I don't know if you guys are local and had storms come through as well, but we had storms come through and the trees were beautiful. But after the storms, I went out this morning and it was just like barren. We lost a lot of our leaves off of our trees. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with this card, and we're going to talk about the kit that we've got for this one. Let me see, I got to get the right one though. All right, so we've got Cajun Craze cardstock that we're going to utilize. And then this is crumb cake, and I'm changing it up just a little bit. Hi, Diane. Good to see you. Thank you for saying hello. I used the Forever Plaid embossing folder on this card. I'm actually using the Changing Leaves 3D embossing folder on this card. I just thought it made more sense. So I've got some scrap I'm going to be stamping on, but I do have some leaves that I've already stamped and cut. Since there are no dies with this, what I would suggest you do is take an evening and do like what I did. I stamped out a lot of these leaves, and then you just fussy cut them. You gotta fussy cut them. Unless you've got like a Brother Scan and Cut or something like that, you're gonna be fussy cutting, but it's one evening and then you've got all these leaves. I am though going to stamp at least one of the leaves because I went back through my cluster of leaves, if you will, and I have one of the leaves missing. So this is going to give me an opportunity to just kind of show you what I was doing. And then I've also got my tag that was created from the Greetings of the Season set. So this set is actually sentiments, but the tags that come with it are what I used. And this is the one that I used. So we'll be working with that one as well. All right, so let's get started with stamping. We are using photopolymer stamps. So what I'm gonna do is bring out my little stamp pad. And this particular leaf that I want is copper clay. So we're gonna go ahead and stamp the copper clay. And these leaves are two-step. So I'm gonna stamp the main part of the leaf first, or the outer part of it. And then what I'll do is with the same ink, I'm gonna stamp the vines, if you will. I don't know what you really call those on a leaf, but I'm gonna call them vines. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this stamped. And then using the same ink, I'm going to just line this up right about here, I think. It's not perfect, but there we go. We've got our vines on it. Let me go ahead and get these cleaned off real quick so I don't get any ink everywhere. And this one was a little deep, so the nice part about my Simply Chamois is I can pick it up and I can really actually utilize it to help clean the stamps if it doesn't get everything off the first time around. So we've got that. And then I am going to take my snips. And the good news is we've got lots of leaves, but I'm only going to cut out one. So let me get close over here. And then I'm just going to start to cut this out. So not hard. And honestly, you can put on a good movie and just go to town. Stamp all your leaves and then just sit and do some snipping with it, and you'll have all kinds of leaves then for your cards. I would rather do that and have extra leaves that I can utilize anytime I need them than have to stamp and snip, stamp and snip, you know, all the time. So I've always got extras. So let's go ahead and get this cut out. And then I've got one more thing that I do have to stamp. I do have to stamp the sentiment. So we'll go ahead and get the sentiment stamped here in just a second. But yeah, the storms yesterday weren't bad. They were talking about them being severe. We were under a tornado watch. Diane, did you get some bad storms where you were at? Because I think I remember hearing that Arkansas had some bad storms as well. Ours weren't terrible. We had some lightning, very little thunder. I mean, I was up for a really good thunderstorm, and it just disappointed a little bit. But the wind was crazy all day yesterday. So we did get a lot of wind, and hence that's why all the leaves are off the trees. Okay, so I've got these all cut out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and my sentiment is in Memento black ink. So we're stamping it in, we're saying some things never change. Not leaves though, right? Leaves do change. So let me get this inked up, and then I'm gonna try to get this centered. I'm trying to keep it in the window, but I'm worried that I'm gonna get my head in here as well, because I need to be able to see how I'm doing. So let me go ahead and get this done real quick. We'll just do it right here. Got it, that's good. And then one more thing, just rain, which we needed. Yeah, we needed rain as well. Lots of rain. We actually laid down grass seed a couple of weeks ago, and we had been watering them with the sprinkler, but we had delayed having our sprinkler system blown out for the winter so that we could do that. But the rain was amazing. So anyway, our sprinkler system got blown out, and now we're just dependent upon rain completely. All right, which I think we're supposed to get more this weekend. Okay, before we start to put this together, I'm going to take my Cajun Craze, because I'm using Cajun Craze cardstock. I'm going to take my Cajun Craze, and I'm going to take the brush tip end of my pen. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some flicking. So I'm going to take the brush pen, the cap, and I'm just going to do some flicking. And that flicking, then I'll show you here in just a second, but it's putting some speckles on my little label. So I just didn't want a totally white label. So now I've done my flicking, and can you see the little spots on my label? And my spots match my Cajun Craze. So before I move any further, because I was flicking on my glass mat, I'm just gonna take my chamois and clean all that up so I don't get that mess anywhere else. But now what I can do is I can actually start to build this card. So we'll take the cardstock, and I'm gonna fold it in half, the base. And then we've got the embossed layer that I used, the Changing Leaves 3D. I think I showed that to you, but I went ahead and used this embossing folder, and I really like the way that looked. So I'm trying to decide, I think I want it to go this way. So let's go ahead and let's get that adhered down, and then we'll start to build out our leaves. So let's go ahead and get this down. Fall is my absolute favorite season, and the longer the leaves can stay on the trees, the better. But I love everything about fall. I love the cool, when it does cool down, and it was cool this morning when that temperature change came in, but I love the cool air. I love sweatshirts and jeans and pumpkins and just everything that comes with fall. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pull out some glue dots, and I am going to move this so that I can get to my, this is how I work my little glue dots, is I keep them on a roll. I'm going to take my leaves, and I'm basically going to put a glue dot at the bottom of it, and I'm just going to do that with all of them right now. So I've got a glue dot there. And then let me move this ribbon, and I'm just going to go through and I'm going to put glue dots at the base of all of these, and that will help me then to adhere it to my label. And then we'll use dimensionals to adhere the rest of them to the actual card. So let's go ahead and get this one, and I'm just setting them all down. I have the ribbon on here so that my roll doesn't get carried away and unroll, because then of course if it does that, then I have to roll it all back up again. So I just have to slide my ribbon down so that I can get to the next dot. And now I've got this last one to do, and then we'll start to build the label. Did I get it? Okay, I did. All right, so let's go ahead, and I'm gonna start placing my leaves around. And I'm going to just create my own little pile of leaves, if you will. So let's go ahead and get this one down. And I only have 2 left. Let me see. Did I get them all? I'm probably putting them too close together. That's okay, because you know what I can do is, now that I've got this one, and we're going to put this one down here. I'm going to put it in front I kind of like this brown, or this, it's called, what color was this? It was copper clay. I really like that copper clay color. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna move this one around. I was gonna add another leaf, but I don't wanna get too carried away with leaves. So we're just gonna kind of move them around a little bit so that they spread out a bit more, and then we'll be good. This one needs to be set up a bit more. There we go, there we go, we got them all. All right, now let me bring out my dimensionals. Reach over here and grab some dimensionals. And I am going to put dimensionals on the backs of these leaves to help secure them to the card. And I have a lot of leaves, so I have to use a lot of dimensionals. And then I am actually going to put one in the center as well. So once I've got all of that, let me grab my take your pick. And I'm going to let my take your pick help me pull these backs off. And then once we put this down, the leaves, I don't think I got that one. The leaves will be secured because I have to do that one by hand. There we go. Yep, that one's down and that one's down. All right, let me put this in the bin. And we're going to turn this back over. And let's see, my card opens up this way. So I'm going to set this down right about here, I think, and then I can secure it all. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some twine, or linen thread, I should say, and I'm going to make a double bow. So let me grab my ribbon snips here, and I'm just going to fold this in half and tie myself a nice big bow. And go ahead and get it lined up the way that I want it. And then we will cut off the ends. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Thanks, Diane. They're so fun. I love fall. I love fall. I know I already said that, but I can't say it enough, I guess. And it's so much fun with the leaves. All right, so let's go ahead and get one more glue dot. I think there's a little bit of a glue dot showing through there from when I was putting the leaf on, but I've got another glue dot, and I'm gonna hide that little circle from the label. So now you won't be able to see the label or the little circle, because it's really more of a tag, right? Rather than a label. So I'm just going to adjust this just a little bit, maybe pull this down just a tad. Oops, gotta pull both strings at the same time so that there we go. All right, there we go. And now this card is done. Look how pretty that is. Now, I love to take a card and create it one way and then work it another way. So you guys will have to let me know which one you liked better, the plaid or the leaf embossing. So card number one. All right, let's do card number two. And card number two, I'm also using the plaid. I do love that plaid folder, so I don't know if I showed it to you or not, but it's a big folder, the Forever Plaid folder. I find myself using it all the time. I actually have some Christmas cards that I've been using it on as well. But we are using the, what color is this? Is it pecan pie? And then we've got the pecan pie layer that I've already embossed. We're using Pretty Peacock, and then I've got a piece of white scrap that we are going to stamp on. And that's all we've got for this card. So let's go ahead and get our stamping done first. And I'm going to bring in the Pretty Peacock first. We're going to stamp in the pecan pie, and we're going to stamp in the Pretty Peacock. But I'm going to bring in the Pretty Peacock first because we're going to be stamping in the middle. And I'm looking for my little pad so that I can stamp. And we're going to use the same leaves that we used before. So let's go ahead and get our Pretty Peacock inked up first. And I'm going to go straight for the middle of my paper. And I'm doing the middle one first, obviously, because then I can center the other two on the outside. So let's go ahead and get this one inked up. And I'm going to put some, I don't know, veins into this leaf. What do you call that? All right, so let's get this cleaned up and then we'll bring out the pecan pie and get it done. And again, you can see where the ink has gone deep on, well, part of it's because of the vein. Just realized you should be on. Oh, hi Ruth, thanks for joining. You only missed the first card. You could go back and see it later. I couldn't quite figure out what you were saying to start. So anyway, welcome. All right, now I'm going to close this up and we're going to go ahead and we are going to stamp these again, only we're going to stamp them in the pecan pie. So go ahead and get that out. And this time I can stamp both of them since they're the same color. So we'll go ahead and try to center this on this side. And then I'm going to ink this one up and stamp it on this side. Okay, and then we'll do the veins again. And I'll line these veins up about right here and over here. Let's see, right about there, I think. Okay, now we've got our stamping done. I actually, let me see, I'm going to show you guys something because I can see where I think I got some additional ink. Excuse me. Let me clean up my mess to start, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix it. I may have to grab a drink of water. Sorry about that. I got a tickle. All right. Got that cleaned up. We'll get this one cleaned up, and then I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. But I want to take care of it before, excuse me, I go any further. So, I have a tool. It's not a Stampin' Up tool. But can you guys see, let me see if I can get this right where I need it. Can you see that little splotch there? I'm not quite sure how that splotch got there. Obviously, I did something. But I'm using my Mono Sand Eraser. And this Mono Sand Eraser can actually help you to remove little ink splotches. What you have to do is you have to be patient. And because basically it's sanding away the paper. And I'm not planning on using embellishments tonight, bling embellishments. And so if I were doing that, then this could potentially be a place where I would put some bling. But I'm not planning to do that. So I am sanding away. And again, this is one of those activities that you just have to be patient. Take off little layers at a time, and eventually you'll get it to a place where it's either very minimal or you won't be able to see it at all. I'm still seeing it. I'm still working on it, but it is making progress. So I'm going to keep at it for just another second or two because I think I can get it to a place where you guys aren't going to even know that I had a splotch there. All right, that's about as good as it's gonna get, I think. But can you see now that I was able to erase that splotch? It's very, very minimal, so minimal that you can't even see it. All right, so now we're ready to start building this card. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this piece and I'm going to adhere it to my pretty peacock layer. So we'll go ahead and get that done first. Whoops. Get this lined up the way that I want it. Centered everywhere. Okay, I think that's good for me. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my, I know it's here. It's right here. I'm going to take my pretty peacock and gold ribbon, and we are going to wrap it around. And I'm going to show you, you've seen me do this before, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take enough pretty peacock that I can wrap it to the back. And I'm gonna grab, well, you can grab a couple of things. Tonight, I think I'll grab my Stampin' Seal. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some Stampin' Seal and I'm gonna lay it down on the back side. Make sure I've got plenty enough to get this centered. And then I'm just gonna fold it over to the back. I also will use tape, just, you know, regular, what is it, cellophane tape or whatever. But the Stampin' Seal works really well for this also. So now that I've got that done, my ribbon is on. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere it to my, well, let's do it this way. I'm going to go ahead and finish working on this. I was going to adhere it to my layer, but I think I'm going to start building the card after I get this done. So I'm just going to I'm going to cut off another piece of ribbon. I'm going to slide it through here. And I'm going to tie a knot. I'm not going to do a bow. If you wanted to do a bow, you could. But I'm just going to tie a knot here. And this, what this does is it keeps me from having to wrap up totally around the back of the card. So I'm saving on ribbon, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this end off. And I'm going to cut this end off. And now I've got my knot tied on this. So let's just move this off to the side. And then I'm going to bring my card base in. We'll go ahead and get it folded up. And I'm going to get the layered piece that was embossed with the Forever Plaid. I'm going to go ahead and put it down. So this is basically tone on tone. I'm using the same color, but I love the effect of just sometimes not switching up the color, but switching up the texture, if you will, of the layer. So we're going to go ahead and get this centered up. And let me pick it up so that I can look at it and make sure that I'm getting it everywhere. Okay, we've got that. Now what I'll do is I'll take this layer, and of course I'm going to bring out my dimensionals. So we'll go ahead and get dimensionals on the back of this. And it's a bit of a longer piece, so I'm going to go ahead and put dimensionals to the inside as well. And since I'm doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and make sure it's all secure. So I'm going to add my little centers. All right, back to my take your pick. We'll go ahead and take the backs of the dimensionals off. And basically you're just poking and pulling, and it goes fast and it keeps everything. Now that one didn't come off. You can kind of tell when you look at it. But it keeps everything together, and then I can just pull these off and put them in the bin, and I don't have a big mess. All right, so let's bring this back. I'm going to turn my leaves around. And now what I can do is I can center this layer on my cardstock. Now, a lot of times you'll see me put glue on the back, but I'm actually utilizing the grid on the plaid that's helping me to get this layered or centered the way that I want it. So I'm going to adjust the bow just a little bit more so you can definitely see that there's a bow. And now this card's done. And look how pretty that is. I just love the simplicity of it, but so easy to make, but so pretty. All right, that is card number 2. All right, card number 3 is going to be fun as well. Let's see, got to pull that kit out. I am using Crumb Cake for my card base. And then I'm using Mossy Meadow for my layering. And I'm utilizing the iconic Celebrations Designer Series paper. I'll just pull it out really quickly so you guys can look at it. But there's a lot in here. A lot of Christmas, fall, plaid, stripes, sparkles, apples. There's just a lot. And if you turn it over, then you've got more solid pieces to the backside, leaves and such. So I've been having fun utilizing this designer series paper as I've been creating as well. So you can see I've already cut up a lot of it. We've got several pieces that we're going to use to build this card. And let me see, there should be, oh yes there is, I have a leaf that I've already stamped and cut. And then of course I have my little label. So The only stamping we're going to be doing, since I've already done the leaf and have it cut out, is we're going to stamp the label. So let me go ahead and get that done so that we can just start to build this card. I'm going to use the stamp that says, you're simply the best. And I'm going to be using the Mossy Meadow ink because Mossy Meadow is my main color that I'm utilizing for this particular card. So let me get that inked up. And then I'm just going to get it centered here in my label. There we go. Perfect. All right, so we've got that done. Let me get this cleaned up. Put the ink away so I don't make any more messes. And we'll move this off to the side. So now all we have to do is start to build. So we're going to start with the base. Now what I want to show you, when you look at this card, just so you can see how this is all going to go together, it is folded. It's not a fun fold, so to speak, but it's folded. So we've got this flap here. So what I've done is I've already folded it in half, and then I've taken it another 2 inches, and I'm going to fold this in. So this now, as I fold this is going to create my flap, right? So we'll go ahead and get this scored. But the other thing that we're doing with this is we're going to decorate, and we're going to fold this down so that it can be a gift card holder. So what I've done is I brought in my 2-inch punch, and before I start getting everything down, I want to go ahead and I'm just going to take off a tiny bit. I'm going to center this as best I can, and I'm just going to take off a little bit of this. So now I've got like a little place for that gift card to go so that we can get that found. All right, so now what I can do is I can start taking my designer series paper and decorating. So I'm going to put a piece to the inside of the card. So let's go ahead and get that one down. Hi, Joyce. I hope you're feeling better and on the road to recovery. Thank you for joining tonight. All right, so we've got this one down, and then I'm going to take this piece, and it's going to go to the outer edge here. And then I've got this piece that's going to go on the front. So let me go ahead and let me get the front done first. No rhyme or reason to what I'm putting down, but I just got to get all my layers down. So I'll get my front layer down, and then we'll work on the inside, and then we can work on our fold. So you can see it depends upon how you cut your designer series paper. You want to pay attention to it, especially if it's directional. And I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. But the designer series paper, same designer series paper that I used last time, I actually have it going vertically, and tonight we have it going horizontally. So we'll see which one we like the best. I thought I was cutting it vertically, but when it was all said and done, it was horizontal. So not a problem. All right, so let me get this down. Make sure I've got that layered correctly. And then now we've got this part of it done. This part of the card is done. Now what I can do is I can take the glue and I can just glue the very edges of the card here, just to make that little pocket. Okay, so we've got that, and I'm gonna fold this down, and I'm just gonna put a couple of blocks on it to hold it down while I get this piece of designer series paper adhered to my Mossy Meadow cardstock. So let's go ahead and get that done. Okay. And to get that centered up, I got to pick it up so I can look at it and do a little bit of squishing around. Make sure I get it centered appropriately. Okay, we've got that. And now what I'm going to do, we've got our little pocket. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and we're just going to center it to the front of the card. So you're going to have a little bit of a flap, a little bit of an overhang. But I want to center it. I'm going to center it between the two edges. That means that most of the glue is going to go on this side of my layer. I don't want to put it on the other side because I don't want to glue it shut, but I am going to put it here, and then we're going to go to center it again, and hopefully if I've done a good job, I do not have glue where it's not supposed to be. But again, I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to just make sure I've got things, and I'm going to open it up, and oh, I did good. I don't have glue where it's not supposed to be. All right, so now we've got this piece of it done. Let's go ahead and let's take our glue dots again, and I'm going to put the leaf behind the label like we did the last time. I'm just going to take a glue dot and place it back behind here, and then we'll go ahead and adhere it to the back of the label right about there, I think. And then the other thing that I'm going to put behind the label is I'm going to take a little bit more linen thread. So I have to figure out where I put the linen thread. Oh, I have it right here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of seal for now, and I'm just going to do like a strip of seal here. Oops, let me make sure I get a good strip. All right, and then I'm going to cut off a bit of my linen thread, and then I can use the seal to just hold the linen thread in place while I do some wrapping around. I mean, obviously I want the linen thread to stick out from behind the label, and I want it to be a decent bow. So I'm going to take it and wrap this around again. And it's the linen thread is very curly. So it wants to do its own thing. It's kind of got a mind of its own. I'm trying to control it the best I can. But now I've got the linen thread down. And I'm going to turn this over just to make sure it looks like I want it to look, and it does. So now what we can do is we can take some dimensionals, and I'm going to put some dimensionals on the corners of the, of the tag or the label. Let's see, which is the sticky side. I think this is the sticky side. I'm going to put it in the four corners. All right, so we've got that. I think I'm going to actually put one in the middle as well, just because I want it to adhere to. So that's quite a bit. I'm not going to really put any behind. Let me see. I say I'm not going to, but maybe I told a story. We'll check it out once I get it adhered, because I don't want to put too much behind the leaf, because the leaf is going to be hanging over the card edge of the flap, if you will. And so I don't want to stick it down where it shouldn't be. But let's see. I'm going to turn my label, and I'm going to center it probably right about here in the corner. And I am going to need a little bit of a dimensional right behind the leaf, right about there. So I'm going to go ahead and use my tweezers, and I think I'm going to go ahead. I've already pulled the back of it off. I'm going to attempt to just place it. It's already got the back off, and that was easy peasy. So now I've got that. So again, we've got our second card, but look, we've got a little pocket so that we can utilize it as a gift pocket for a gift card. How fun is that? So 3 cards. They went so fast. This is card number 3 that we did. Let me bring back in card number 2 so you guys can see. And then we will bring back in card number 1. And card number 1, of course, we changed up a little bit because we used a different embossing folder than we did on the original. So what do you guys think? How fun, right? Is fall one of your favorite seasons as well? I do love it when it starts to cool down. I am going to come back so that I can see all of you guys. Why am I not there? There I am. Hi. Anyway, thank you for joining me tonight. I love being with you guys on Thursday evenings. I look forward to Thursday evenings, and I love it when you guys say hello. So thank you for that as well. Remember, this is a to-go class. If you are interested in this class, just go out to my website, April Davis Creations. Oh, wrong one. Take that one down. This this one, aprildaviscreations.com. And thank you, Joyce. I like the first card too. aprildaviscreations.com, all the information's there. If you're interested and you want the kit for free, then you just need to place an order in my online store, and all that information is there. The other thing that I'm going to ask you to do just to help me is to please like and share if you haven't already done so. And this video will be uploaded to YouTube tomorrow morning. So if you happen to be watching it on YouTube tomorrow morning, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do, and also like. It's really helping me to grow this channel, so I appreciate your help so much. So happy Halloween. I don't know if you guys are receiving trick-or-treaters tonight or not. I have Harper and Ray upstairs taking care of that for me tonight so that I could be with you guys tonight. And I will see you guys next week. And I'm trying to think. I think we're moving into Christmas next week. So anyway, take care, and I will see you guys again next week. Bye, everyone.